Welcome to another episode of the P&W Sports Report with Alec Pecano and Bradley Walker. Tonight on the show, we preview week 3 of the preseason, pick every week 1 game, upset picks, picks against the spread, and a lot more. Why don't we hop into the first part of the show and pick every week 1 NFL game? As I pull up the schedule, we start on Thursday with the Cowboys and the Eagles. And before we pick here, why are the Cowboys on prime time to open the season?
It's Jerry Jones. That's all I can think of, bud. When it comes to that, I think it comes down to they're still considered America's team, and yeah, that's my only thought process. They said that's why they're on it. Okay.
Who are you taking though?
Oh, I'm taking Philly. I'll take the Eagles. I'm taking Philadelphia.
It's simple for me too. I don't like. I'm not an NFC East fan, but I can't stand the Cowboys because all they talk about every year is, oh, it's all year. It's all year. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. Talk to me when that actually happens. Because what happens every year when you get into the playoffs? You pull a Falcons. Sorry, Falcons fans, I had to.
Well, with the Cowboys, if you're not a fan of Dallas, you hate them.
Exactly.
That's it.
So, with that being said,
you're like the Yankees. you either like them or you hate them, and that's the way.
Yes. Yes. So. With that being said, I'm taking the Eagles. Friday. Lovely. Friday, September 5th in...
Oh, it's a YouTube game. Okay.
Brazil. Chargers Chiefs.
Well, see, the spread's only 3.5. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb. I'll still take Kansas City, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think it's going to be. Because I think if this is Justin Herbert's year, I think he's got the right weapons. So, but coming out of the gate, it's going to be hard to beat Kansas City out of the gate. And it's a neutral site game, too. It's not at home or on the road either. So
São Paulo, Brazil.
So I'm assuming that the Chargers are the home team in that way?
I would, yes.
Okay. That sucks for the fans that pay for season tickets because he lost a home game because they're playing in Brazil. But I'll take Kansas City.
I'll take Kansas. No, I can't take Kansas City. I'm taking the Chargers.
Okay.
And you'll see why later on.
Okay.
Hint, hint, wink, wink. Sunday. We start with the Buccaneers and big news out of Atlanta. Caleb McGarry and the backup to Caleb McGarry are both hurt. So Storm Norton and Caleb McGarry are both hurt.
I think even with Wirfs out and Godwin, the Bucs will have enough weapons, and they have a defense that can get after Michael Penix. So I think I'll take Tampa Bay on the road.
I'm taking the Buccaneers too. And I think, mark my words and come back to this, ladies and gentlemen, if this happens, I think Kalijah Kancey and Hassan Reddick and Yaya Diaby are going, and Kalijah Kancey are going to feast on that Falcons offensive line.
Being that their right tackle, I think, is hurt, which is
McGarry and Storm Norton's hurt too.
Yeah, which covers Michael Penix's blind side. So as a lefty quarterback, yeah. Yep.
Oh boy. So we both took the Buccaneers there. Bengals and Browns.
The Battle of Ohio.
Kind of obvious where I'm going here.
I'm taking.
I tell people, huh?
I'll take the Bengals.
I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, who do you root for? I'm like, I'm a Buccaneers fan. I'm a Bengals fan. They're like, oh, why aren't you a Browns fan? I'm like, you could never pay me to be a Browns fan. They're always bad. And it's going to be the same result this year to start the year. They're going to be 0-1 after losing to the Bengals. So give me the Bengals.
That franchise is cursed.
Ooh, another franchise that may be cursed is the Dolphins. The Dolphins and the Colts.
This used to be a game that you used to love to watch back in the day and stuff like that. But I'm going to take Indy at home with Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback.
Mm. Mm. I've talked about how much I don't think Tua is a good starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Colts at home. I'm sorry, Dolphins fans. I don't trust Tua to stay healthy the entire season. Raiders and Patriots.
I'm taking the Pats. I'm a Pats fan, and I think this is a win. It's going to be interesting to see the Raiders and how when they new head coach and everything. So I'm taking New England at home.
Okay, so the Raiders are in my picks against the spread later. I think the Patriots win, but fans of the show, wait till later on. Oh, Saints and Cardinals.
I'll take the road team.
I'm taking the Cardinals. Sorry, Saints. I don't think you're winning a game this year. Steelers and Jets.
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers returns to New York. I'll take Pittsburgh.
Well, and Justin Fields plays the Steelers for the first time since Jets signed him.
Yeah.
Give me the Steelers, even though it's a washed-up Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Giants Commanders.
Give me the home team.
You know what? This is not on my upset picks or my picks against the spread, but give me the Giants. Mr. Unlimited. Give me the Giants. Jaguars and Panthers. I'm going to go Panthers.
Me too, bud. That's one of my, we'll get to those picks later, but yeah, I'm going to take Carolina too.
Titans, Broncos. I'm going Broncos.
Yeah, give me the home team.
I think this, sorry Titans fans, I think this is going to be a slaughter fest.
Well, especially on the road, and that's the stadium favors the Broncos, so yeah.
Niners, Seahawks.
Ooh, well, the 49ers don't really have too many weapons for Brock Purdy to throw to. I'm going to take.
Well, they just got, let me say this, they just got Sky Moore from the Chiefs. Does that tell you how desperate they are at wide receiver?
They swapped 6th and 7th round picks, I think, is what they swapped. I think
yep.
I heard trade this morning. I'll take Seattle. I'll take the home
I'll
team.
take Seattle too. Lions and Packers.
See, this could be these two teams could be in the thick of it when it comes to the division championship at the end of the year. And I picked Green Bay to win the division on Tuesday. So, but you know what? I think they split. I'm taking Detroit as an upset right off the bat to beat Green Bay, but I think the Packers get back at them later on in the year.
I also have the Lions winning this game, and you will hear me talk about the Lions later. Rams and Texans.
It's hard because what CJ shot are we going to get?
Well, and you know what I've heard? Stafford might be out for the year because of his back.
I didn't hear that. Okay, I didn't see anything about that. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm taking Houston.
I would take Houston too, because if Stafford is out for whoever knows long, that would mean that Jimmy Garoppolo has to start games for the Rams. And just ask the 49ers how that went. Went good for a couple years, and then it fizzled out. Ravens and Bills.
This could be an AFC championship game down the road. Battle of like the two MVPs from last year, the last 2 seasons. Give me Josh Allen only because they're at home.
I would take the Bills, but I have the Ravens in one of our segments coming up, so give me the Ravens. And then on Monday Night Football, we have the Vikings and the Bears.
Yeah, you know what? Give me Chicago. Give me
the Bears. I hate to pick against Ben Johnson, and is it something that we're going to be saying all the time? Don't pick against Ben Johnson.
Hey, we learned that lesson with Mike Gundy, so maybe this
we'll
is the
see.
version of Mike Gundy. So yeah, we'll see.
I'm taking the Bears as well.
Okay.
Next segment is preview week 3 of the preseason.
Okay.
Basically, with this segment, all we're doing is saying what we expect in some of the games in the 3rd week of the preseason. So let's start with the Patriots. What running back do you expect to trot out there with the starting offense?
I would probably say Bud, not Henderson, and I forget who the starting quarterback or starting running back is for New England, but I don't see either one of them. I'll say the RB3 if there is an RB3.
Gibson.
Possibly. I see with all these games, you're not going to see too many starters at all. I think this is the guys that are either making depth chart guys or practice squad guys are what you're going to see coming up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, or tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night.
Yeah, I would agree. I would, simple as that, I would agree. And let's just leave it at that. Next segment. Upset picks and picks against the spread. I will let you go first.
All right, bud. So upset picks. I mentioned I'll take the Monday Night Football game. I'll take Chicago. Upsetting Minnesota. I think that will be one of my picks. Carolina over Jacksonville is my other upset pick. And I'm trying to go through it because we've already made our picks. Yeah, maybe just those two. I don't see any other ones that I could go with other than. I mean, I picked Detroit, so I can't take Green Bay. But yeah, I don't see any other ones, Bud, that I would say. I mean, unless you want to think the Saints to beat the Cardinals as an upset. I mean, go far-fetched to say that. So
yeah. What are your picks against the spread?
So picks against the spread, Bud. I will take first the Thursday night game. I'll take the Eagles with the 7 points, and I think it's 46.5. I'll take the Eagles outright points and over. Game 2, I'll take the Bucks with a 2.5, and I'll take them also over. I think both those teams can score more than 48 points as a combination. And my third one, I'll take the Patriots with the 3 points and 43, and it's 42 and a hook. So I'll take the Patriots in the line as well for those 3.
Okay, so my upset picks. First, I've got the Bears to upset the Vikings. Obviously, we talked about it in our game picks, how we are coining the phrase now, don't pick against Ben Johnson, like we have with Mike Gundy when we do college football. And if you don't know how that works, just go back and watch our videos from last year when we picked against Oklahoma State.
Yep.
The second one, Seahawks to upset the 49ers. Self-explanatory here. Who has the healthier wide receiving core? The Seahawks. Who is ravaged at wide receiver? The 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Who is one injury away from being out of the playoffs. The 49ers. If McCaffrey gets hurt because they traded Jordan Mason to the Vikings, which still to this day makes zero sense. And then my last upset pick is the Ravens to upset the Buffalo Bills. Regular season Lamar Jackson is different than playoff Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Josh Allen. Josh Allen in the regular season is a whole different animal. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. And then my picks against the spread. My first one is the Lions plus, as you saw, it was +1. So I'm taking the Lions +1 to cover against the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think there's going to be a lot of scoring in that game, but I think it's going to end up being a 1-score game at the end, or maybe even a 1-point game. Chargers plus, was it +3.5?
3.5.
Cover against the Chiefs in San Paulo, Brazil. Self-explanatory there. And I have the Raiders +3. I don't think the Raiders are winning this game, but I think I feel like the line, the spread is way too low. +3. Yeah, I'll take the Raiders +3 all day. Even though I have the Patriots winning, I think the Raiders cover the spread.
Yes, it's the home 3 points. The home team usually gets the 3, so that's all they're taking for that game. Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other thing I've seen is people doing mock drafts. Explain to people why it's too early to do mock drafts.
Well, first of all, we haven't had 1 week of college football, so let's pump the brakes a little bit. We haven't even had 1 week of college football starts this weekend, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, I know I heard, the interview with Arch that, I don't know why my grandfather's telling that I'm coming back to school next season. The main thing with Arch is we're going to see really who Arch Manning is starting week 1 when he has to go to Columbus to the Horseshoe to play Ohio State. He's got to play Florida. He's got to play Georgia. He's got to go, play Oklahoma. We'll see how that all plays out. But in my opinion, if he comes out and he's the number 1 overall pick, or he's projected to be that, he might leave college. If not, I mean, if you look back, Peyton Manning was supposed to come out and didn't want to play for Bill Parcells and the Jets, so he went back to college, and the Colts reaped the benefits of that. So
I think if this, and people are trying to mock him to the Saints. The Saints don't necessarily need a quarterback because they've got Tyler Shuck.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one team he's been mocked to. He's also been mocked to the Colts, which I don't think he'd want to go to Indy.
Nah, it'd be tough to have to play in his uncle's shadow with Peyton being there. Yeah.
And then I've heard the Cardinals, because they can get out of Kyler's contract after this year.
There's where I could see him going. That's where, you think he's got Marvin Harrison Jr. there. He's got weapons in Arizona. So if anything, that would make the most sense. But out of those 3 teams that you mentioned, I don't think he goes to the Saints because, again, that's where his grandfather played. I think if he goes to either the Giants, the Colts, or the Saints, it's going to be hard because he's going to be in the shadow of his uncles and his granddad. So,
well, the Giants don't need a quarterback. They just took Jackson Dart at the end of the first round.
Yeah, I'm just saying in retrospect, I don't think you
hypothetically, or the Jets. Do you think he'd go to the Jets?
I don't think so.
Because they don't have anybody other than Fields.
That's going to be. It's all going to come down to who has the first overall pick coming into the draft. It could be the Saints. It could be the Jets. It could be the Giants. It could be somebody else that, could have a bad year. So, yeah, it's way too early to be doing. Dude, we just got the draft just happened a couple months ago, for crying out loud. You got to do mock drafts for next year. Holy hell. Okay.
Well, let's see what just for funsies, let's see. Way too early.
See what they got.
Yeah. And let's see how atrocious it is.
Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's a quarterback. This is going to be a nice quarterback class coming out.
Yes, you are correct. Okay, let's see. Do we got it? Okay, here we go. Let's see. So number 1 is New Orleans Saints.
Garrett.
Number 1, Garrett. They just. This is why we can't do way too early mock drafts, people. The Saints just took a quarterback. What makes you think they're going to take another one? At least give Tyler Shuck a year.
I would say, yeah.
If he doesn't do, if he starts this year and doesn't do good, then okay, I'm fine with giving up on him and taking a quarterback if you have the number 1 pick. Okay, so we thought that was bad. The Browns taking Drew.
Another quarterback in Cleveland.
There's a reason I'm shaking my head.
They drafted 2 last year.
People are being way too high. People are way too high on Drew Aller. I don't understand why. Like, please explain. What is so glamoring about Drew Aller?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen too much film on him. I don't know, but they do like to hype him up. I do know that.
Jets at 3. Okay, that's reasonable.
Defensive line.
Yes.
Okay.
Peter Woods out of Clemson. Okay, and they say hopefully Justin Fields will be good enough in 2025 to prevent the Jets from drafting a quarterback. Pairing Woods with Quinn Williams will make life awful for opposing offensive lines.
True.
Titans at 4 take TJ Parker, edge out of Clemson. Well, the Titans used their second round pick 2025 on. Oh boy. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. They could use more help rushing the quarterback. Parker would give them a number 1 caliber edge rusher. The Giants at 5. Okay, yes. This makes sense.
Offensive tackle. Mm-hmm.
Yep, they need offensive line. Caden Proctor. Unfortunately, Andrew Thomas have struggled to stay healthy lately, missing 11 games in 2024 and 7 in 2023. Proctor could start at right tackle and give the Giants options if Thomas continues to miss time with injuries. Carolina at 6. Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. Yeah, I've seen minimal tape on Anthony Hill. What would you say? Do you think he's a first-round pick, or is this too high?
No, I mean, because Carolina needs linebacker help. I mean, if he's the best linebacker available and they need defense, why not? I mean,
well, and it makes sense because if you read what they're saying, they haven't had a good linebacker since Kuechly retired.
Yeah, Dave Canales is an offensive-minded coach. So if they could get help on the defensive side of the ball, I think that's moving them in the right direction because I think they're going to be a threat in the next few years in the division, in my opinion.
Number 7, the Colts take Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina. Okay, don't get me wrong. I like Lenore. I'm high on Lenore Sellers, but number 7?
Yeah, he'd have to have a big year for South Carolina to be that high, in my opinion, to be that high.
Hopefully, Anthony Richardson could have a third-year breakout in 2025. However, the Colts fans should start looking at 2026 QB class.
No, he's not even a starter this year, so. So, yeah.
Las Vegas, Kedrick Falk, edge rusher, Auburn. Las Vegas signed Max Crosby to a massive contract extension earlier this offseason, keeping him on its books through 2029 season. However, the superstar could use more help chasing down Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Bo Nix. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We skipped the Browns at 9 from Jacksonville. Isaiah World, offensive tackle, Oregon. Despite having concerns along their offensive line, the Browns didn't spend a single pick improving the unit in 2025. Therefore, they don't be shocked if Cleveland selects 2 early in 2026, including 1 in the first round.
You're going to have all those quarterbacks. You got to protect them.
Number 10, the Rams take. Ooh. Okay. I think this is the perfect spot for Caleb Downs. And that's not being a biased Ohio State fan. He's one of the best defensive players in the country. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. And the Rams, they need defensive help. So why not?
It says, that's not what I wanted to do. It says here, Downs was the only player to give Tyler Warren trouble during 2024 college football season. Defensive coordinator Chris Shula would love having the Ohio State star at his disposal when facing George Kittle, Trey McBride four times a year. 11 through 20, Patriots. This is your neck of the woods. Wide receiver Antonio Williams.
Yeah, because you're getting the end of Stephon Diggs. Why not? You're going to have to give.
Well, and it says here the Patriots selected Kyle Williams during the 2025 draft. However, he was the only pass catcher added. Furthermore, Stephon Diggs is the only proven receiver on the roster. Miami Dolphins take cornerback Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. Reportedly, the Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey are heading for divorce, which, yes, he's in Pittsburgh. So, yet Miami waited until 5th round of the draft to add cornerback. Yeah. Could you see them taking a defensive back?
Yeah, they need defensive back. I know they need offensive line to protect.
I would say and I know it's an outside shot because they still got Waddle and Hill, but they need wide receiver. Tyreek Hill's not getting any younger.
And I don't even think is he even active right now for the Dolphins? I thought they were.
Yes.
Okay. I know that if you didn't hear that they did put Chris Godwin on the active. I don't think he's going to start, but he is active.
No, him and Wirfs are on the active roster. Seahawks at 13 take Evan Stewart, wide receiver out of Oregon. Well, the Seahawks spent 2 day 3 picks in the 2025 draft on wide receivers. The team has no long-term answers to pair with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Stewart would be excellent option. Yeah, if you want to give Sam Darnold weapons. Cardinals take Certain
Perkins.
I'm sorry if I butchered that. Certain Perkins, edge out of Ole Miss. Arizona spent a 3rd round pick on Jordan Birch and added Josh Sweat in free agency this offseason, yet is still in need of more help rushing the passer.
Yeah, because they can't keep a running back in Dallas, so they got to do something.
I'm laughing. They just took one this year in the draft. Jaden Blue from Texas.
Yeah, but
Cowboys take Jeremiah Love, running back, Notre Dame. The Cowboys are at their best when they can run the ball at high level. Love had 17 rushing touchdowns in 2024, despite playing through an injury late in the year. Steelers take DJU's younger brother, Mateo Uiagalelei. Hey, I didn't butcher it. Edge, Oregon. Let's see what they say. TJ Watt is on the wrong side of... Really? Even on the wrong side of 30, TJ Watt's still a really good edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And heading into the final year of his contract in 2025, well, the Steelers spent a 4th-round pick on Jack Sawyer, steal of the draft, in my opinion. Don't be surprised if they add an edge rusher early next year, especially if Watt is no longer with the team.
He is nice on an extension. So
at the time of them making this,
yeah.
he hadn't.
Yeah.
He did.
Correct.
Later on. At 17, the Bears take running back Nick Singleton from Penn State. What is it with them hyping up these Penn State guys? First it was Drew Allen, now it's Singleton. Okay, let me get something off my chest here. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, one of the best running back duos in the Big Ten. And yes, I do think Nick Singleton is a 1st-round pick. This range is, I would say, this is a fair range for him. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like it said there, DeAndre Swift, will remain, but you could always use a younger back. And
well, it says they can get out of his contract next offseason.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised when Ben Johnson spends a prime draft pick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's already done it before. He did it in Detroit with Jahmyr Gibbs, the 12th pick. Houston Texans take defensive lineman. This is your neck of the woods, your Gator. Caleb Banks, defensive lineman out of Florida.
Yeah, he would fit well with Houston.
Houston has one of the best edge rushing duos in the NFL. However, its interior defensive line could use significant help. Banks would be excellent alongside Will Anderson, and I forgot Danielle Hunter plays for the Texans now. Huh. Here's another guy getting, I feel like they're trying to push way up the board, even though we haven't played a single game. Keon Sabb out of Alabama. I mean, yes, the Vikings do need secondary help. And I think he'd fit well in I believe Brian Flores is still the defensive coordinator in Minnesota.
Yeah, correct.
So he would fit well. Actually, after looking at that, I don't think that's not a bad pick. Number 20, the Broncos. Well, the Vikings, it says they don't have a significant hole on their roster. However, Harrison Smith isn't getting any younger, and the Vikings didn't spend any picks in the 2025 draft on secondary. The Broncos had 20. Take Kristen Miller, defensive lineman out of Georgia. Can he stay on the field the whole year? I think Bradley knows what I'm talking. Brad knows what I'm talking about with that.
Yep.
How much more help does the Broncos defense need? The answer is none after drafting Jahade Barron this year. However, John Franklin Myers is a free agent after the upcoming season and is unlikely to return in 2026. Tampa Bay at 21. Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami. Why? Because the Buccaneers lost Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and you don't think either Diaby or Cansey's going to be good?
Well, I think with Cansey, it's the whole can they stay on the field? Can he stay healthy? That's been his
Well,
issue.
here's what the thing says. Nearly every mock draft had the Buccaneers taking edge rusher with their first round pick in 2025 NFL draft. Instead, they waited until fourth round to select one. Don't expect that to be the case. It's Jason Light. I've learned to never doubt Jason Light.
All right, so you took a wide receiver in the first round this year, and everybody was shocked about that. So there you go.
Chargers take Damani Jackson, cornerback out of Alabama. Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles lacks a number one caliber corner on roster. It can't keep ignoring this need with several talented wide receivers in the AFC West division. Yeah, I agree. Do you agree with that?
I do.
The Packers at 23 take Malik Muhammad, defensive back out of Texas. Well, Jair, say that fast. Jair Alexander didn't get traded during the 2025 NFL draft. He might not be on the week one roster. Furthermore, the veteran likely won't be back with the team in 2026, making cornerback Green Bay's top need. Yeah, because they're another team that's in a division that has really good wide receivers. The Rams taking Cade Klubnik. I'll let you take this one. I think this is a reach.
Yeah, well, it all depends too on what kind of year he has, and if it's Matthew Stafford's last year. So it's gonna be a big thing, with that. But we'll see if that's what they're. But they have to draft a quarterback of the future soon, in LA.
Yeah, I would agree. 25, the 49ers, Austin Barber, offensive tackle, Florida. This is a home run. I'm not a Gator fan. I know you are. But I think this is a home run pick for the 49ers.
Yep, they need to protect Brock Purdy. You saw what happened.
It says Trent Williams could retire as soon as the upcoming offseason. Yet the 49ers didn't select an offensive tackle during the 2025 draft. That must add one early next year, especially if they are going to pay Brock Purdy. And you know what? Like I said, that's a very good pick because they know how to develop offensive linemen in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at this. The Bengals at 26. They take another Gator. Darrell Jackson Jr., defensive lineman. Good pick. Yep. Hopefully the Bengals can keep Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati to pair with new first-round pick Shamar Stewart. However, the interior of the defensive line needs significant help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Washington Commanders at 27 take LT Overton, edge rusher out of Alabama. Here's another one where they say nearly every mock draft had the Commanders using their first-round pick in 2025 on an edge rusher. However, Washington did not select one with five picks. 28, the Lions take Aaron Anderson, wide receiver out of LSU. That could make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you read the bottom, it says reportedly the Lions entertained trade offers for Jamison Williams during the 2025 draft. He will be heading into final year of rookie contract in 2026. Might not be part of team's long-term plans. 29, the Ravens take guard Francis Mayanoa out of Miami. Baltimore spent 4 picks in 2025 draft on offensive line. However, 3 came on day 3 of the draft. Don't be surprised if they spend an early pick next year in next year's draft protecting Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did take 3. It says they did take a bunch of offensive linemen. Ooh. Here's a good pick. Buffalo take wide receiver Nick Harbor out of South Carolina. Many were surprised when the Bills waited to the 7th round of 2025 draft to select wide receiver. Josh Allen needs another weapon to pair with Khalil Shakir, especially if Keon Coleman doesn't have a sophomore breakout. The Chiefs, like they need any more help. Kansas City Chiefs take cornerback DB Avian Terrell out of Clemson. The Chiefs spent a 3rd-round pick in 2025 draft on Noel Williams. However, they need more help at cornerback, especially with Trent McDuffie heading into final year of rookie contract. And the Eagles. Are we really going to let Tyreek Sapp slip that far in the 1st round?
Well,
Howie Roseman, the Eagles are one of the teams that don't need any more help.
Well, that's what will happen. He'll be all the way down there, and they'll take him because that's the best player at the time.
Tyreek Sapp, edge out of Florida. No team values its defensive line more than the Eagles. Well, no, duh. Like we didn't already know that?
Uh-huh.
Yet, they waited until the 6th round of the 2025 draft to draft an edge rusher despite losing Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat this offseason. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's a way too early mock draft. And
yeah,
you saw our reactions. What would you give that? Putrid?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I said, we haven't played one college football game. Drew Aller may have a horrible season. Who knows?
Tyler Shuck could come out of nowhere for the Saints and lead them to the playoffs for all we know.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think the Saints, honestly, the thing the Saints need is a running back. Because during the offseason, they did entertain the idea of getting rid of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, he's got some off-the-field issues. I think he got away with what he did, but yeah.
Same thing with, and we can briefly talk about it because I know we gotta end soon. But the whole Rashid Rice and who was the other guy? Quinshon Judkins and Rashid Rice.
Mm-hmm.
So I've read where they're saying that even though Rashid Rice is not going to be suspended right now, the NFL is looking to try to suspend him for 8 games.
Wow. That's half the season. Yeah.
For what he did, for the hit and run crash he committed. And then Quinshon Judkins had all of his charges dropped with the whole debacle he was in. But he still hasn't signed his rookie contract with the Browns. And I read something today where, according to multiple beat reporters for the Browns, they say the Browns are going to wait to give him his rookie contract until the investigation by the NFL is done.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that raises the stock of Dylan Sampson.
Yep.
And then in Houston, got an interesting backfield with no Joe Mixon out with injury. You've got a Nick Chubb, who the beat reporters in Houston have said looks washed and old.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Woody Marks, who was just drafted. Daria Gumbawali.
Used to be a Bucks.
Yep, used to be a Buccaneer.
Special teams guy. Mm-hmm.
I want no part of that backfield in fantasy or if I'm a Texans fan.
Well, speaking of that, but you're going to be doing your fantasy draft next Thursday.
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday. Who? I mean, I know, but you can't get everybody that you're looking to get, but
well, now, and I'm afraid to say it because there might be people in here.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry.
That are in the league, and if they might stream.
Yeah, that don't say anything, but don't give anything.
Well, no. I am gonna. There's a few things I am gonna say. There's some guys that I know the people that I'm in the 2 leagues with that I'm gonna have to take the guys earlier than I want to. Like Ibuka, I might have to take him in like the 4th or 5th round, or maybe even the 3rd, which I don't feel like is too high because McMillan's out and Godwin. And the Bucs have said that McMillan might be out till after the bye week.
Yeah, yep, and that's week 4, I believe. I think they have a bye week in week 4. I think it's
it's week 10's their bye week.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of college football. Sorry, I'm thinking of US stuff. My bad. Yeah.
And we only get 8 bench spots in both the leagues I'm in.
Gotcha.
That I'm commissioner of. So that means like the 7th, 8th, the last 2 bench spots are probably going to be rookies. And no, I'm not going to take Shadur Sanders because that's. I might take Flacco. That might be the only Brown I take.
Might be a good pick.
It might be. But I don't think, other than that, there's not. I know I see all these fantasy analysts out there saying, oh, this guy is a bad pick in the 1st round. This guy's a bad pick in the 2nd round. Yeah, you're just trying to scare us off from taking the guys we like. Which, to me, that's not going to work. I'm sticking with my guns. But, if there's nothing else, we can end there so you have time to.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap up today. I know it was a shorter episode. We'll be back on Tuesday night and Wednesday next week for the P&W Sports Report. And it's 2 college football episodes next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, plus the normal content that you would get from me on Monday and Tuesday. And Thursday is college football, and we have 2 watch parties Thursday night. One is USF and Boise State, and the other one is Nebraska and Cincinnati. But I'll let Bradley talk about his show before we hop off.
Yeah, the Walker Report will be on in about an hour and a half from now. We'll be talking NFL, NCAA. I even threw some WNBA news on the notes tonight. I think what we'll do, too, is me and Alec made our predictions for the NFL conference by conference. I'm going to ask the other 2, see what their picks are, and make it kind of fun and see what that is. And we can talk about college football week 1. I know we will go through all the top 25 games. We might do that tonight because there won't be a show next Thursday because I'll be at the USF Boise State game. But, yeah, so we'll see what it is. But, again, come over, guys, 8 o'clock. Alec will be on the show with me as he is weekly. We'll be joined by Adam and Lewis. So come over there, guys, and take a watch. If not, catch us on the Walker Report YouTube channel the next day, and it'll be up there for you guys to take a peek.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And there is a poll up for where you want Bradley and I to go in 2027. Right now, Texas is in the lead. And I know Bradley so badly does not want to go to Knoxville.
I'll go to Austin. I'll go to Austin. Let that play itself out.
Everybody, please, and I repeat, please vote on the poll.
Yes.
It would help us immensely. We've already got 2026 unlock, and we're going to start kind of going over stuff for the Michigan Oklahoma game in 2026, probably in January and February next year.
Mm-hmm.
And Bradley will be the one handling getting us credentials into the press box and getting us credentials to be on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, and in between time, this has been the P&W Sports Report. We will see everybody Tuesday night. Peace.